In today's material, I will focus on discussing the influence of the two most widespread substances in the stimulant family on our gym performance, because we live in a culture with a deeply rooted alcohol drinking culture in society. This will be the first substance that I will discuss. Regardless of the sport discipline you engage in, proper synthesis of proteins is a key issue for achieving results, and how it is impacted by alcohol should therefore bother every active person. Its negative effects in this area have been confirmed multiple times. What is more, even when combined with a protein shake, alcohol consumed after a workout reduces the body's ability to synthesize proteins by as much as 60%. And why does this happen? As it turns out, it is probably because of alcohol disturbing this process on different stages, like by influencing the reduction of the IGF-1 level, which directly influences the anabolic processes, or at the stage of the mTor kinase, the function of which, quoting Wikipedia, is regulating the growth, proliferation, and movement of a cell, as well as the translation and transcription processes. It is hard to determine the exact influence of alcohol on insulin production, although we do know its negative effect on insulin sensitivity. Although not directly, one can assume that this is linked to losing the glycogen reserves after getting drunk. And muscles without glycogen are weaker muscles, which is why the anecdotal stories in sports groups about breaking records while hungover are pretty disputable. If those same people weren't hungover in the first place, I bet that they could have achieved even more. Drinking alcohol also elevates the level of the stress hormone cortisol. In the context of today's episode, it will be an important fact that it increases the breakdown of amino acids from muscle proteins. Its elevated level also indirectly lowers the testosterone level, unlike getting drunk, because alcohol does this much more directly. This will be particularly important for naturals. Another downside from the point of view of an active person is the caloric content of alcohol. This is particularly important for people on reduction. A can of beer means an additional 250 calories, and the shot of vodka is around 55 calories. A standard-sized drink with cola is 120 calories, and these are not the type of calories that yield any values beneficial to hypertrophy. On top of that, alcohol makes reduction harder by increasing appetite, and different types of alcohols do this more than others. You'll eat more if you will have some savory alcohols before the meals, such as gin or a glass of dry Chardonnay. It has been proven that alcohol increases the activity of the aromatase hormone, which converts testosterone into estrogen. And although it's not likely for you to become more feminine overnight, the risk gets higher here when your body fat percentage is higher. Despite the sensation of being relaxed, the negative impact of alcohol consumption on quality of sleep has been confirmed multiple times. And since sleep is just as crucial for muscle building and reduction as diet, often getting drunk until you pass out is a good way to block your gains. Sleep deprivation also means lower testosterone. This is only one of the many reasons why, by not getting enough sleep, you won't be able to function at full capacity. Alcohol directly interrupts the sleep stage known as REM. It is the sleep with rapid eye movement during which the muscles get completely relaxed. It is this stage where we usually get dreams. Disruptions at this stage result in noticeable exhaustion, problems with concentration, or poorer muscular tension. The amount of scientific publications on the influence of alcohol on the body's functioning is huge, and this topic could be explored for a few more episodes. There is no doubt that in order to maximize the effects in sport, it would be the best to quit drinking altogether. The good news, however, is that a healthy human body is able to regenerate relatively fast. Even this has been researched. In this case, it was actually rats that were made drunk, but all they needed was a 3-day rest after a 16-day period of alcohol intoxication to completely reverse the negative effect on the protein synthesis. If, for one reason or another, you end up having too much, because you're not a professional after all, you can always skip one workout or have a lighter one. Getting bombarded with empty calories once in a while shouldn't cause a significant interruption to reduction either. The problem starts when you consume alcohol regularly in wholesale quantities. Initially, after the influence of alcohol, I wanted to bring up a few studies on the influence of cigarettes. On the other hand, I didn't want to serve you another lecture on how to behave. I decided that a much more interesting substance to discuss will be marijuana. It is also more difficult for me due to the fact that there is much less research on this topic. When it comes to scientific studies, the vast majority is based on being conducted on animals. The scientific community, however, believes them to be very informative for us as well, because rats have a counterpart of every known human gene. And that's why they're so popular at laboratories. They are perfectly suitable for conducting clinical trials on people. What is easy to find, however, are articles on the positive impact of marijuana on workouts. After reviewing the arguments in a few of them, my conclusion is that similar advantages could be listed for most of psychoactive substances used recreationally. And I'm talking about such characteristics as pain relief, relaxation, easier sleep, or bactericidal effect. I won't question multiple positive effects of cannabis, and I am far from demonizing it. But the ones that insinuated downright beneficial effects of weed on sport performance or body health were a complete joke. In order to disprove the ever-spreading myths, I will start just like in case of alcohol, with the substance's influence on protein synthesis. In a 2013 study in response to the waves of seemingly health-promoting properties of marijuana, it was tested how it influences the mTor kinase process by significantly reducing the activity of the CB1R receptor in the hippocampus. Marijuana turned out to be as effective in stopping this route as a typical inhibitor of mTor kinase used in medicine. Marijuana also has an influence on testosterone production, as proven by most studies. Among others, the results of the one from 2019 gave an unambiguous answer. THC led to reduction of the production of the LH hormone and, in consequence, to lowered libido, deterioration of sexual function, reduced testicle mass, and impaired quality of sperm. LH gives a signal to the Leydig cells in testicles to produce testosterone. If, for some reason, this signal gets weakened, the production of testosterone will be weakened. There was also no denial that THC also makes motor functions worse. Its concentration drops slower than that of alcohol, for example, which is why it may impact the quality of your movement for a long time. And whereas in case of a bodybuilder, it may manifest itself merely through lowered muscular tension and working on a lighter weight as a consequence, a biathlete, a fighter, or any other type of athlete who incorporates explosive movements in their routine that require proper motor coordination even a long time after smoking may experience the distracting effect of marijuana on training. I will emphasize it once more, though, that the studies quoted here mostly took into account large doses or long periods of taking specific substances. In today's material, my role was limited to very short, pretty much one-sentence summaries of publication results. If you would like to listen about other stimulants or would like me to expand on any of today's topics, I'm open to suggestions.